Alright, so in my previous video, I talked about Elliot Cadeau, and in the process of talking about Elliot Cadeau and his reclassification to the class of 2023, Simeon Wilcher came up. If you don't know who Simeon Wilcher is, he's one of the best guards in the class of 2023. He was previously committed to the University of North Carolina. When Elliot Cadeau committed to North Carolina, he decided to when he reclassified, he decided to decommit and go to St. John's. Now, I know he's received a lot of backlash from North Carolina fans, and he's received backlash from North Carolina players. But if I'm being honest, I believe Simeon was looking out for himself in that situation, which at the end of the day, that's what's best for everybody, to look out for themselves. Because if you ain't looking out for yourself, then who else gonna look out for you? And today I'm gonna touch on why I feel like it was the best decision for him. Now, if you look at UNC's roster, with Elliot coming in, they got RJ Davis, and even in the Elliot video, I forgot to mention, they also still have Seth Trimble coming off the bench. He's gonna be splitting touches with a lot of quality guards. Between Elliot, between Seth Trimble, between RJ Davis. And if we're being honest, he may be the fourth guard in that rotation. Now, for a guy who I believe wants to get to the league and possibly be a one and done, because next year's recruiting class is considered to be one of the weakest in recent history, sitting behind 3 players at UNC isn't going to give you the best chance for that. Now, once he decommitted from UNC, I didn't have any clue where he was going to go. I don't know why I assumed, but I assumed he was going to go somewhere in the ACC, try to get revenge or whatever, something of that sort. But when I seen he was taking an official visit to St. John's, I knew, like, right then and there, St. John's is a really good fit for him. You got a Jersey kid going to St. John's, that's right up the water, basically home for him. Not only that, but St. John's, if y'all didn't know, St. John's just hired Rick Pitino. And because Rick Pitino came over, St. John's basically cleared house. Everybody on last year's team that was significant left. Which means Simeon is going to be able to come in and he's going to get the keys straight off the go. It's going to be his team. Which means he's going to be able to put film out there. And if he performs, he's going to be able to give himself an opportunity to be drafted in the 2024 NBA draft. Whereas if you go look at UNC, he would have been coming off the bench, maybe a third, fourth guard option. He wouldn't have been able to show as much as he's able to show at St. John's. Kind of like with my Bronny video. He took the opposite route of Bronny. Bronny's going to a stacked guard school to play at USC, where he could have went somewhere like Ohio State. That's just one option. But Ohio State have really been able to showcase his full array of talents because he would have had the keys. Simeon took the other route though. He was like, I could go to UNC and be the third, fourth guard option, maybe be there for 3 or 4 years. Or I can go to St. John's, have the keys, play for a Hall of Fame coach, ex-NBA coach, and learn the game from him, or potentially go to the league next year. I mean, I think personally he made the right choice. Also, if you look at Rick Pitino's offense in general, Rick Pitino gives his guards a lot of freedom. Which, as a guard coming out of high school, that's what you want. You don't want to go to a school. You don't want to go from high school where you have freedom to go to college to a school that got you in shackles and chains. Because it's really, as a freshman adjusting to the college life, adjusting to college basketball, 1, it's going to mess up your mental. It's going to mess up your psyche. And 2, it can potentially damage your game. So, I feel like that's good for him that he's going to be in an offense where Rick Pitino gives his guard freedom to make mistakes and learn from their mistakes so that he can get better and really showcase his talent. But not only that, if you look at some of Rick Pitino's previous guards, Like at Louisville, he had Terry Rozier, Russ Dickulus, Peyton Siva. Those just the first three that popped up in my head. All three of those guys had really good college careers. All three of those guys weren't NBA guys, but worked their way to the NBA because of their work ethic and the fact that Rick Pitino really let them do what they wanted to do on offense. He gave them freedom, and they made the most of it. So with that being said, I feel like this year at St. John's, Simeon Wilcher put himself in a situation where if he's able to perform, I can see him being a first round pick or a lottery pick. He's gonna have the freedom. He's gonna have the keys to the offense, I believe. If he can just get there and perform at a high level, he's gonna be a lottery pick. But it's all up to him. Everything's up to him now. He made this move. Now it's up to him to perform. If he can perform, because he's a talented player and he's a bucket getter. If he can perform, he's a lottery pick. Absolutely. But if he doesn't perform, I feel like a lot of people are going to look back at this decision and be like, man, you could have went to UNC, played behind some really tough players, learned the game at a bigger school, and really been more prepared for the league, more prepared to go to the league and fit into a role than going to St. John's and just being the man and trying to make the most out of that. But with this being said, man, if y'all like the video, make sure y'all hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share the video with your friends. If you have anything you want me to talk about in the next video, leave it in the comments. I got you. But until next time, I'm out.